Hey, how is everybody doing? Having a good night? Wow, we got a lot of people in here already tonight. Man, look at this. Bernaldez, hey man. Hey, good to see you again. Move faster clock. Hey, you guys been waiting around on me. No, Bornoldus is not an admin up in here. Though if I keep growing like this, I may have to get some people to help me moderate the channel and help with comments. Y'all's been blessing me with some good growth on the channel. I appreciate it. Roses, good to see you. Magic Malango, welcome. Camden, Uga, good to see you again. All right. What's up, Cloud? Good to see you. Got myself a fresh pot of coffee and ready to go. Thank you, Jacob. Yeah, this is actually an older hat. I forgot all about this thing. But we're at summer. This thing's a much lighter felt than I'm used to wearing. And, well, it feels a lot better in summer, hands down. And, yeah, I'm glad you like this background. We're trying something different Friday, and everybody seemed to like it, so we're going to stick with that for a little bit while we're down here in what's currently the temporary downstairs office, because upstairs is, well, it's hot. It's an oven. Hi, Peachy. Sorry I missed you. Actually, yeah, I did actually land on a topic today because it's one that, I've kind of been thinking about, and a few of you on Discord's heard me mention it. Some of you might even accuse me of ranting or rambling on too much as is. Hey, Elizabeth, good to see you. Nomar, good to see you. And I'm actually wanting to do a series of videos on it, but instead of doing the intro video, I thought we'd talk about it tonight some. Yeah, we do still love you, Peachy. I've just had one scatterbrained week. And the last 2 days, I feel like somebody's just been beating me with a ball bat. It's just one thing after another. Just boom, 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 boom. Yeah, tell me about it. Everyone, make sure you're smashing that like button. Supporting the channel helps us out a lot. Appreciate it. Also, I think I finally figured out how to make sure links to both the website for the school and the Discord are below, as well as the books I do recommend for most practitioners to read. Those are below. I actually figured out how to get those in the information below if it worked the way I think it did while the stream's up, so you don't have to wait. And for those who don't know, the final Draconic Ruler art went up this week. So that's over at the merch store. So definitely go check that out. Sarah did a fantastic job on it. Any of them good for driving? I really like, if you don't have it on audiobook already, Jackson Crawford's Poetic Edis is wonderful for driving. I enjoy it. I don't know. Some people might put him to sleep, but I really do enjoy his Poetic Edis for driving because it's something you can listen to, but you don't have to overly focus on either. So I should have a link to his Poetic Edis below. I know I have a link to his Havamal, but I think there's a link for the Poetic Edis too, because he is my favorite translation of those books. And the others, I don't even know if they're in audiobook because they are a bit more detail oriented in Magick. But if they are, I check those out. I don't know if I could recommend any of them for driving. A milkshake and sandwich. All right, now that sounds good. That sounds real good. It's info being dispersed, not ranting. I like the way you think, Uga. I do. Okay, so here it is. I think I might have even slipped a reference or two in here. So when we look at the mythology of entities, we always look at where the mythology stops. And for some reason, anytime we reach out to an entity, whether it be fae, whether it be a deity, angels, demons, it don't matter. We expect them to appear as the mythology is at the time of its writing. And I'm guilty of this. I really am. When I first started my practice, that's what I was always expecting. So the more I started approaching entities, I got to realizing these entities didn't get off the timeline train or the evolution train or the knowledge train just because we humans stopped writing about them. And really, that should be common sense, you would think. But I don't think anyone ever does it. I don't know if you hear this nonsense out here, this noise, but I apologize if you do. So one of the best examples that really shines is most people see Odin in like Viking battle armor or the Grey Wanderer, you know, the cloak, the wide brimmed hat, and all that stuff. He often appears to me as well in a modern suit. Which actually surprised me a bit because him being a bit more of an outdoorsman, I actually expected a bit. If you would have asked me what I thought his modern look would have been, I'd have thought more, probably jeans and a shirt of some kind. Something that you'd expect to, wander around the woods in. But so that is definitely one of the things. And yeah, Rose, hell, that's a good point. Hell, most people, if you read the Edis, you find out that it never actually says she's half alive, half dead in the Edis. In fact, she actually is quite beautiful. You are correct. Well, Cast Iron, you're right. They don't really care about schedules and clocks. Odin and well, hell, for sure, has always lectured me on clocks and times and how I'm foolish to think that I can actually schedule my growth by a clock. So they tend to poke fun at the concept of clocks and that we think we can schedule every little thing. And they've really been hammering me to work my magic and my growth around life as it comes and not around a clock, which has been a fascinating lesson. And it's been a many-year lesson that they're still drilling home with me. Yeah, Rose. I really did. I thought Hell was going to be ugly because of the way you see so much of her artwork done, the way so many people depict her, and I was really, really thrown on her. I really was. But Oh my God, she's definitely one of my favorite goddesses to work with. And Cast Iron, my man, you're going to be disappointed with me, but I have not read nor seen the American Gods series. I really want to. I don't know a lot about it. Someone told me Odin's in it somewhere. But I am wanting to hopefully see it sometime, someplace. Someone also said it's a book series, so maybe I'll end up reading it instead of watching the show. I don't know. Wow, we are active in here. Thank you, Jacob. Yes, everybody, if you're here, hit the like button. We'd appreciate your support. Austin, my man, hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'm glad you found the channel. I hope you're enjoying it. And if your comments are getting lost in here, remember we do have the super chat now, so you can give a donation and it throws up this big flashy thing and make sure I see your comment. Or if you just want to, help support the channel. Oh, Odin runs that show. Okay. See, I just thought he was in there someplace. So he actually runs the show. He's like the star of it. Oh. Okay. I may have to put more effort into finding that show. I didn't know that. Oh, okay. Now you got me more interested. I'm always looking for a good book to read. Awesome, Austin. Glad to hear it. That was a really fun video for me to make. And I've gotten a lot of great feedback on it of people who's found their guardian dragons. So I've really enjoyed that one. It's been nice to be able to get this information out to people and help them. That is actually pretty common. And you definitely see it in Odin, because even when you're not viewing him as the one-eyed wanderer, there's myths and legends of him wandering around in disguise. And I honestly, in my experience, I find a lot of entities do this, even to this day. And there's many weird, random individuals I've met in my life that they've finagled things so that I was able to learn a lesson. And looking back, their personality, their dress, it just points to certain entities. And part of me is convinced that either the entity sent the person or it was the entity in disguise. Can't prove it one way or the other, but I understand why that is there, and I really think they still do it to this day. But I think we should actually take more time to consider these entities in the modern light. And I am planning to do a series where I'm going to talk about each entity in the modern world as opposed to just the lore. I mean, don't get me wrong. Y'all know I love lore videos. So I will still be doing some lore videos. But I am wanting to do more on individual entities in the modern world and how they interact with it from the gnosis I've gotten directly from them and to pass on. All right, there are 21 people. We are hopping tonight. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. This is great. Yeah, Austin, I'll be honest with you. Even after all these years, learning new stuff has never gotten old. That's why I enjoy the path so much. Well, Anima Man, that really depends on two factors. First factor is how long can you stay in trance or meditation? That's the main factor. Beyond that, you could technically stay there as long as you can sustain it, because your only limitation would be your physical body. So let's say you're a fat guy like me. I could, if I was inclined to, stay there until basically I fasted down to nothing and starved to death. Which, well, honestly, I'd die of thirst first from dehydration because I'm a big old boy. But your physical limitations would really be it if you've built your trance ability up to the point where you could go past that. So, other than those two factors, you can really stay there and work there as long as you want in your astral sanctum. Though I generally don't encourage it, because part of magic is about the real world and living in the real world. And too many practitioners and magicians forget about that. And they want to detach and run away and hide from the real world. And that defeats the whole purpose of the knowledge and the wisdom we're learning. So I don't really encourage you to do that. But in theory, that would be your only limitations. Yeah, entities can be humans in disguise. Every entity I've talked to has admitted that. Whether or not you can ID them and figure out who they are before they leave, that's another question. I would like to tip my hat to myself and say I was talking to so-and-so and I figured it out. But every time I've had such an experience, it didn't occur to me until after. So they fooled me every time on that one, plain and simple. No, Austin, that's a perfectly legitimate question. I really use the term magician and mage because witch has become more of a religious term for most people, and I'm not a religious man. My practice is very much geared toward the science of magic, and it's all results based. When I approach an entity, even a god, I approach them as an equal. And so, yeah, I do tend to call myself a mage, but that's why I don't want people to mistake me for the religious practitioners, not because I got a problem with them, but I don't want people to represent me with a religion if I might give them the wrong opinion. So I try to respect those belief systems and those practices while at the same time doing my thing, because religion's just not been a thing for me in my life. I've been in many religions. It's always, I'm too scientifically minded. It's always left a bad taste in my mouth for one reason or another. But I know many religious people who have a wonderful practice, and it's beautiful to watch it. So I just draw that line because there is a difference in my practice and theirs. And I try to communicate that. Because I've been known to do a dumb thing or two, and I don't want that to look bad on the others. So let's be honest. Try to respect each other. And at the same time, there are people who are looking to learn magic without the dogma. And it appears there's few people like me out there willing to talk about it. Though I think those numbers are growing. But that would be the general reason why. I hope that answers your question somewhat. Roses, I'm not 100% sure which direction it goes. I wish I could say that they fully manifest as someone in disguise and that's them and that it would be awesome. Me personally, I am actually more inclined to believe they're speaking through the person and the person's unaware of it. Um, but I really wouldn't know fully on what side that would go. And yeah, cast iron, you are right, my man. A lot of pagans are former religions. I got friends of every religion I can think of. I respect them all. They're all great friends. Honestly, I'd take a bullet for them. So I'm really blessed to have so many friends from so many backgrounds, and everything and viewpoints that all can sit down and get along and have an intelligent conversation. So appreciate everyone who's here joining us tonight. Linda does say she apologizes missing this. Computer problems, and we are now back at the point where we don't know what we're going to do. But she did tell me to let y'all know that even though we currently have no ETA, she has not forgot about you. She still wants to get back and take part in this, and it's just figuring it out. It looks like her computer might be dead. At least this is one computer I can't get blamed for, right? Oh, Austin, no, my man. Don't apologize. A question's a question. That's how we learn. I actually enjoy answering it. No need to apologize to me, man. How can you bind your nephew from gaming so much and also eating everything? Dude, I wish I knew that. Every time I got family over, they just swap everything in the kitchen. Which is generally why I don't invite them over. But your best bet for something like that is to not bind the person, but ward the object so that it repels unknowingly. And they'll be sitting there and they'll just get the feeling they don't want to be there and they'll just wander off. That would be my best way to do it, because binding them gets tricky. You don't want to do that. But I would do the like a sigil or something to ward it and kind of encourage them to go elsewhere. Hey, Andrew, good to see you. I appreciate it, man. Glad you're enjoying it. The law of one. The law where everything is one. See, that's one of the laws that I meditate on that one quite a bit, especially with soul travel, because almost every plane I go to at some point or time, they start talking about source, but everyone seems to have a different definition of source. But if there's a source, then at some point along the line, one would have to view that everything comes into a correlation where all does come down to the one. But the viewpoints, as you come back down from that source, start differing and fractaling up so much that it gets a bit muddy in the waters and you can't really figure out what is what. But then you look at the 28 laws of magic, you got the laws of infinite universes, you got the fact that those overlap. If they're overlapping, everything affects another thing, even if it's a personal universe. So everything ends up being interconnected as one anyway. So I don't know 100% where I stand on it, Andrew. But it is something I meditate on a lot. And ultimately, the way I come down to it currently is I do view the law of one as almost a simplified way of describing the web of the weird in Norse mythology, or the very fabric of reality, where everything is a part of that singular. Even if there's individual threads, it all makes up that singular. And because of that, everything affects the other thing. But, you know, that's still one I meditate a lot on, my man. Turbine, channel with good... Man, I appreciate it. I really do. I appreciate all y'all's support. Every time y'all hit the likes, you know, it helps out the channel. And I love the fact that y'all comment on the videos. I am sorry the comments are coming in so fast these days, and I try to answer. If I miss them, I apologize, but I do try to respond. Magic Malango, wow, $10 super chat. Malango, thank you so very much. Go take classes at the school. Yes, if you go to workingdragonmystic.com, we do have courses that we're publishing. Literally every class that I teach, I'm videoing and getting up on there. I'm still working on getting many of them up. So do be patient with me on that, but I am getting them all up in the future. I think I'm not sure. I'm not good with computers, but every time she turns on the stream, her whole computer shuts down. So that's all I know is going on. We've been trying to figure out why. So I'm not the idiot to ask when it comes to computers, but she's got a few friends trying to help her with it. So far, no one's been able to figure it out. No, Malango, you focus on your drive. Oh, you got to your destination. No, okay, good. Glad to know you made it safe. After Rock Radio, I did do a free course at the school. So if you go to workingdragonmystic.com and click on courses, there is a free video course where I detail Arcane Sight because that's like one of the hardest ones. No charge or nothing. It's completely free. No hidden fees, nothing. It's free. And no, I have not gotten around to doing a free course or more detailed videos on the other ones. The other ones I think will be YouTube videos just because I think the focus will be easier to do in video as opposed to a course. But once I sit down to actually do them, if it gets big enough, I'll do it as a free course. But right now, I have the Arcane Sight one on the school. So definitely go check it out. There should be a link below. And again, completely free, no charge, my man. But I do plan on working on the other ones. Austin, generally speaking, Magickal coffee hour, at least when Linda was here, we try to do an hour to just a little over, and that's it. On Fridays, research and ramblings, honestly, that one goes until we get tired of talking because, well, you get me rambling and talking. I sometimes don't shut up. But I think the average, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, I'm wanting to say the average sometimes falls in somewhere between an hour and 40 to 2 hours maybe on Friday. And if I'm solo on Sundays, I think we fall into about an hour, hour 30. I think. Yeah, you all keep asking questions, and I just can't pull myself away. But that's okay. I love answering questions. I love interacting with you. It's great. Jacob, I don't know, my man. You could have a point. I mean, she's not really a practitioner. That's one of the reasons the Magickal coffee hour was working so well. She would come at me from the viewpoint of a non-practitioner asking questions, and I'd be answering them. That and she was a lot of fun and added a lot of energy to this. So I'm really looking forward to getting the opportunity to get back to the old format. It's okay. Hey, well, honestly, like I said, it's not always an hour. Linda's the one that always had to hold me to the hour. You watch any of the old ones where she's still here, you can see she's holding me because she's like, we're already. It's like, oh crap. All right. No problem. Happy to help you out, and definitely welcome to the channel. I'm always happy when we get some new subs and viewers. Really makes this work very much worth it. Have I spoken with Anki? Someone told me I mispronounced that, and I apologize, but never corrected me on it, so you must not mind if I mispronounced it. But I have spoken with Anki some, not a lot, not really an entity I've worked in depth with over the years. In fact, I think it's been 3 or 4 years since I last spoke with Anki. So it's not one of the entities I'm better versed in. I mean, I've always been honest with y'all about, you know, I try to work with as many entities as I can. The ones I really deeply know are the ones that I work with a lot and really do build a friendship with. But, you know, but Anki, when I did work with Anki, I enjoyed my time working with him. I really did. Last time I checked, my wife was not running around the Discord just yet. Unless she snuck in without telling me. And well, y'all heard the shenanigans she did with my phone, so you know she's tricksy. So she could be hovering around down in there without me knowing. Luckily, I don't say anything to get myself in trouble if that's the case, or at least I haven't that I'm aware of. I am kind of hoping though that when she gets home, she will jump into the Discord and possibly join into some of the chats with y'all. Because at least she wouldn't have to be on camera for that, right? It's all good, Cloud. All good. Now, if y'all see her lurking around or something, or somebody you suspect is her, shoot me a little private message. Be like, hey, Drake, check this one out. See if this is her. Because if she snuck in, I wouldn't mind catching her. That'd be kind of fun. She might do it. She might do it. Hey, everybody, look, Halloween made it. Good to see you, Halloween. Been a while. We missed you. Well, you needed the sleep. That's what it was. Just ban her out of nowhere. Oh, Lord. That'd be bad. Aw. I'll let her know y'all hope that. I don't know what she'll say to it, but I'll let her know. You have yeah, Uga, I have to agree. She's an interesting individual, and it is fascinating when you can get her to talk about her practice because half the time she don't even know how to put it in words. But when you get it, once you can get her rolling and talking, it's pretty fun. It really is. All right. Any more questions coming? So, until more questions come on the topic of entities in modern day, for me personally, though, other than clothing, one of the things I've enjoyed is watching how they interact with what we view as technology. Especially the Fae. The Fae adore our technology, not because it's advanced, but they kind of view it the same way we do souvenir toys at a amusement park. Because they're just like, there's so many easier ways to do this. Why would you do it this way? But they do enjoy it. So it's really interesting to see how these entities interact with our world and our technologies. For me, anyway. Let's see what we got. All right. And it sounds like the clouds are unzipping to drop a bunch of rain on us. I don't know if you can hear that mess too. Good grief. It's a noisy night, ain't it? Yeah, I've been getting a lot of rain dumped on me lately. Of course, it is hurricane season, so maybe that has something to do with it here and there, you know. Hey, young lion, good to see you, man. Doing pretty good. Stayed busy this week, but I've been doing good. Will RC. You know what? I worked with them to come up with a draconic lesser vanishing ritual of the pentagram. But I do not know of a middle pillar ritual. Um, as far as like, you know, in the ceremonial magic style sense of it. But there is a meditation in the 101 class, the Dragon Fire meditation, where you do the ritual of the flame, set everything up, you bring all that draconic energy in, and it starts to balance out all the energy and everything. And then you start moving and cycling that energy up through your energy body, all the way through and out, and it starts cascading over you, and then you start cycling it through. Um, I can't call it a middle pillar or a ritual, but at the same time, many of its effects are very similar because you do get that nice middle line balance happening. So I don't, yeah, there's not technically one, but if there's one close to it, I'd probably say that. Subconscious blocks, go to spirits of wisdom and intellect or entities of it. So like Odin, great for it. Hell is also great for it. So is Freya. Loki can help you with it, but he might be a rougher road, I won't lie. The Morgan can actually be pretty handy on that one, I know. Another rough road but can help you with that is Hecate. Um, Someone told me Thoth can do it. I that's not something I've ever worked with Thoth in, so I can't back that up, but I have been told that. Um, if you're into more of the darker side, like demons, Zazel, Paimon, and Belial, they're pretty handy in that area, in my experience. Some people might disagree with me on that, and that's fine. Dragons wise, Zephyr Seal is great for that. He's great at helping you remove blocks, get things moving, helping you see things clearly, logical, and opening up truths. And if you work your way past the first four rulers, Nocturnarast is also really good at that. Man, we've had some hot days and high humidity, so the rain's a nice relief from it, not gonna lie. Thomas, if you want to make them feel at home, just take you like a small plate or set make like a little space outside or inside, depending. I think I have a video on coming up on how to work with them outside, or no, I think it's in your home. I think I got a video coming up on how to work with them in your home. If that wasn't the video that came out this week, but either way, it's already out or it's coming out soon. But just to sum it, you can set up a nice little space, keep it clean and tidy, and set it aside for them in your home, or you can do the same thing outside. And you want to just leave out a little bit of honey, cream, or even some baked goods for them, something like that. And, you know, tell them, welcome, uh, treat them as guests, use the word guest, say thank you for being my guest, thank you for coming. And that word guest is important because hospitality rules for Fae are really important. So if you treat them as a good host and you show them their guest and you're a good host, and They will definitely be very comfortable and they'll be very helpful as well. Do not offer it to them as a gift because gifts get funky with Fae. Offer it to them as their host because they are your guest. That's the trick. I'm trying to understand your question here, Andrew. Not to be domineering. If I'm understanding this, the best way to do this is to actually work on strengthening your arcane senses and letting that information flow in. And what I do with my students, other than having them work on meditation, is I do have them build an arcane sanctum so that they can spend time there. Because while you're in the arcane sanctum, you want to build like a building, a house. You want to have things you can interact with. That way, if there's a cup on the table in your sanctum, you can pick it up. If there's flowers, you can smell them. The whole time, clearly, you're using your arcane sight to view this stuff. And make sure there's stuff with sounds, whether it's a babbling brook, put you a stereo in there, something. So that you're interacting with the environment as a whole, and therefore it's really ramping up that training of your arcane senses and allowing that information to come in. And this translates perfectly in once you try to do spiritual work in trance or through journey work and stuff. So reading what you're writing here, if I'm understanding it correctly, that would be my tip. You guys are asking some good questions up here tonight. Yeah, false belief. You got to remain skeptical and open-minded. You also have to be willing to be wrong. That's a big kicker. My practice is results-based, but I always try to improve it and learn more. And yeah, I always remind myself and my students, you got to be willing to be wrong. In fact, one of my sayings is, I enjoy to be wrong because that's an opportunity to learn something. The path working that the dragons laid out for me, young lion, did not include the 5 inner rings. I do not know why they left those out. I don't know if that's something they chose to leave. I don't know if it was a Conway thing. But yeah, when I asked them about it, they said they would not be part of the Dragon Magic 101 through 104 in that manner. So they didn't really explain themselves on that other than they're just giving a very systematic and direct route for a larger variety of magicians to approach. So perhaps they felt the original path was too limiting, or perhaps Conway put it in. I don't really know on that. I just went with the flow on them, and it's clearly working. Everybody's loving the class and the channel. So I think the dragons are still steering me right on that, young lion. I have spoken to Thor. He's a lot of fun. He definitely reminds me of just that old man's man kind of guy that you can go get a beer with. I mean, he's willing to go cause some trouble, get in trouble with you. I mean, just like your best friend. He can be hot-headed. He can be brash and rash, but he loves stories. He loves to laugh. He loves jokes. He's not lazy. Don't think him lazy. He is definitely a hard worker. There's a good reason they refer to him as the blue-collar god. So, yeah, if he's ready to get up and work, you better get up and work because he's going to drag you with him. But he does act a lot of times without thinking. I remember Odin sent me to get him and told me to just knock on the door and open it and go into the hall. And he threw a goat at me, or a ram. His chariot's pulled by those 2 goats or rams. He just picked one up and threw it at me. He apologized, but geez Louise, there's better ways to do it than just picking up a goat and throwing it at me. But great guy overall. I enjoy working with him when I do. He's not one of the ones I work with a lot, but anytime I get a chance to work with him, I really enjoy it. Oh, yeah. Chaos dragons are really good at causing mischief. They really are. But they're also some of the harder dragons to work with in many ways. That's one of the reasons they're so far down the path before you approach them. It's because their primary thing is creation and destruction. So they're going to build your life up and improve it, but the real tools are creation and destruction. So they're going to get rid of this by destroying it, but they're going to create this new thing for you. And that much of a harsh and drastic change is really hard for a lot of people to deal with. And it is very chaotic, hence their name. Yeah, it is a common occurrence, Will, to feel that link of that above and below, because it does bring all that energy into balance all around you. So I know they're surrounding you, but imagine that energy as a full sphere above and below. Even if you don't visualize it, it's still going to create that to happening. And here comes the thunder and lightning. Okay, if we lose power or connection, I apologize. Hopefully we won't, but we're going to try and plug on through here. I got a good surge protector set up, so hopefully we won't kill my laptop. Take it easy, Jacob. Bernaldus, yeah, thank you can on occasion be construed as a contract in the Fey realms. Because basically you're saying they did something for you and it was, thank you, that was above and beyond what they should have done. Will, and I do not know if you spelled that right or not, but we're gonna just I used it a time or two to test it, and I've not really gotten uber results out of it me personally. I know a few people who like it. I just never got any good results with it because I honestly just thought it was kind of just over there for the movie until another magician mentioned it to me. I have considered doing some more testing on it, but I never got a lot of results out of it myself personally. There are magicians who have, but me personally, I have not. And that's really the only way I can measure it. Awesome, young lion. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. It's always good to know the class is helping people. What was it like to work with a Zazel? Oh, it was intense. The dude does not pull his punches, but he's also. If you ever watched Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Indy's dad, Sean Connery's character, you know how he's just serious, even though he's a fun-loving guy, because you get to see that fun-loving side through the movie. When it comes to business, he's just focused. There's nothing else. It's just that focus, that seriousness, and it's really about that, we're going to do this. This is how we're going to do it. This is the facts. If you were to take that personality and the brashness and the aggression of Indiana himself and put that into one Jones, that kind of makes me think of Azazel because he does have that. He is a very, very serious, no BS kind of teacher when you're working. When you're not working, he can relax and laugh with you. But at the same time, he's not just going to sit behind his desk kind of like, the older Jones did. Instead, he's going to be out there in the field pushing you and throwing you through all kinds of crazy adventures in order to teach you the lessons you need to learn. And when you work with him and you ask for his help, you better be ready for all hell to break loose. Because if you ask for his help, he will help you, and he will do whatever he needs to get your attention and get you to your goal. And for a lot of people, that's hard because they don't want to get out of their comfort zone to make things happen. But he will find a way to yank you out of there if he has to. But other than that, he's a lot of fun to work with. What was it like to work with Thor? Or no, what was it? What workings do I? Oh, with Thor, it's usually deals with usually storm magic on occasion, but also physical fitness, work, motivation, and defense and combat a lot. Those are really the areas I focus on my work with Thor. He's great when it comes to defense. Yeah, he threw a goat at me. Thor just picked it up and threw it. No matter, I'll admit, a lot of when it comes to Reiki, energy work, anytime people starts overcharging for things, I get wonky. But when you say feeling tired after, that would be concerning. I've never known anyone to feel tired from Reiki or energy work. Usually they feel energized. Oh man, that's a toughie. So I'm going to have to go with two lines of thought here. Either A, they're healing something so energetic, almost on the shadow work like level, that unbinding it and tearing it loose really just kind of just leaves that flood of energy, and they didn't take the time to really balance it out afterwards. So they did heal the issue. It's just they didn't charge you up either, so that left you drained. Or, and this is the one I don't like, then they might have been siphoning off. I hope that's not the case. It wouldn't be the first time I've seen it, but there are people like that out there. And that's sad if that's the case. But those are the two possibilities I can think of off the top of my head, because it's really, really rare for that to happen. And honestly, you remove the siphoning thing, I can't think of an actual case where I've encountered it. I only know the theoreticals of what might cause it, if that makes sense. Austin, it was nice meeting you, man. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you enjoy the videos. And please come back again. Join us Friday. Uga, no problem, no problem. We're just glad to have you here. It's always nice to have you. At least you're listening in and joining us. Yeah, I did notice it was mentioned in there too, so that actually gave it a bit more credibility when I was trying it out. I've just not gotten a lot of good results with it, but I still do want to test it, Will, because let's be honest, every time I do a ritual for the first few times, I may not get results, but eventually you get through that wall and it's like, hey, look at this, look what I found once you start getting the results. So it is one I do hope to test more. It's just, I personally haven't got much out of it just yet. Like I said, others have. So I can't say it's a bogus ritual or anything. It's just my testing so far has not been good. But that's not going to deter me. I'm still going to test it some. Got more testing to do on it. Cloud, yes, Melnyorn is actually there. It does technically return, but that's really about it. Other than that, it's a short handle hammer in the myths. Beyond that, it don't really do much else. In fact, I'm not even sure the myths actually says it returns now. Think about it. But it was made by the Dark Elves or the Dwarves. They're interchangeable in the lore, the names of them. And it was a gift to the gods, and it was given to Thor in order to protect the gods and the realm of the gods. So he does actually have Melnyorn. It's whole part and parcel of his deal. but it's not like the one in Marvel by no means. Anyone can pick it up. It's a hammer. So there's been many a times it's been picked up by people. Loki's pinched it a time or two. I mean, the whole only Thor can pick it up thing, that's not in there. Thomas, you ain't kidding. He is a party guy. He is a great guy to hang out with and just BS. He really is. Anytime he's around, I have fun. Will both. He can actually help you in physical training for martial arts and whatnot. So he can help you physically with offense and defense, and he can help you with magical defenses and offense as well. Yeah, I mean, I hate to think they siphoned the energy off, like I said before, but that it really does kind of sound like that. I just try not to accuse because you never know. There's so many factors that can go in there, and I don't want to accuse you. I would just be mindful. Thank you, Will. Thank you. I appreciate it. I am trying to get the Dragon Magic 102 course out for y'all as quick as I can. Like I said, we're hitting a lot of bumps in the road, but I am wanting to get it out as quickly as possible. Before doing your first ritual, I would do about a 3-minute breathing meditation at least to just kind of get yourself calm because I know you're going to be nervous, even 3 to 5 minutes. But honestly, when it comes to that first ritual, like let's say the Dragon's Flame ritual that's on the channel, you're not going to be ready for it until you just jump in and do it. It's one of those things. It's like getting in the pool first thing in the summer. There's no good way to do it. You just got to jump in. But just to get past the nervousness, I would do a good deep breathing meditation or a 4-count meditation, which you can check out the beginner meditation video, and just do a good 3 to 5 minute meditation to calm yourself and get you down in the zone, my man. Other than that, watch the video and try to understand the steps well. That's really all I would say. Because some things you can only read so much about until you're ready to jump. Take it easy, Uga. Have a wonderful night. Thank you for joining us, my man. Like I said, Namar, I don't know the full circumstances, but those would be the two things I would think of. Will, yeah, Michael and Thor are very similar, though I will say this. Michael is a bit better composed and reserved. He doesn't lose his cool as easily as Thor. So Michael's a bit more reserved than Thor in those matters. And he doesn't really goof off as much as Thor either. So he's a bit less on the party side, but overall they are very similar. And that's not to say Michael's a stick in the mud. I'm not saying that. He's not a stick in the mud. It's just when you compare them. Actually, Thor's never had any issues with the dragons I work with. In fact, if you there's a YouTuber did a video on the fact that Jormungandr and Nidhogger, their original myths, they weren't villainized, and it's kind of interesting to watch that video because I've actually seen Jormungandr and Thor interact peacefully many a times. But or are you talking about Michael? Because again, same thing. He's never had any issues with dragons. When I was talking with Michael, the only dragon he has a problem with is the Dragon of Revelations, But then that goes into a whole religious conversation of who is that dragon? What is that dragon? Is it symbolic? And that's a rabbit hole for another day. But as far as the draconic rulers and the dragons I work with, Michael's been completely chill with them as well. Yeah, man, there's a lot of people who will do crazy things like that, which is sad. Camden, yeah, the videos on the channel will definitely get you started. Um, if you don't have the money for the class right now, I would keep your focus on the first 4 draconic rulers. Don't move past those because that's when it starts getting sketchy. And I'll admit what I got on YouTube right now is not really solid enough that I would recommend moving past those first 4. But it would be fair to get you started. There's some stuff that'd still be missing, I won't lie. But that would be a fair way to get you started. You could at least get in there, meet your guardian dragon and your co-magician, start building up a good relationship with them, and start doing some meditations and working with the first 4 rulers. And then when you get the money, you could go in and do the 101 and really get those deep dive path workings that's in there. And I am trying to get more up on the channel. It's just YouTube, it limits me on what I can get up and what I can't. There's just so much I got to cover. That's one reason the school helps. I can really deep dive on the classes on things that I can't on YouTube. Well, Cloud, that's actually what I was thinking about. I'm trying to remember if that's in the mythology or not, that one thing. And I cannot remember that. But if it has any abilities, that would be the one it would have. But all the other abilities that's claimed, it doesn't have. It's just, I'm trying to remember exactly on that because, again, like I said, Thor's not one of the bigger ones I work with. And I've never actually seen him throw the dang thing. So I can't be 100% on the returning properties of his hammer. I know Odin's spear does return to hand and never misses, but I'd have to double check on the Thor thing for you, Cloud. Aloha humans. I do not know. I personally have not known him to teach any supernatural abilities, and I've known him to train and help people train and push their bodies further than what you might expect, but never beyond the limitations of what a human could do with enough time and effort, just quicker and easier. But as far as supernatural abilities, I've never encountered that personally. Austin, yeah, the classes are pre-recorded videos so that you can work in at your own pace, and you can always go back and rewatch the video if needed. Plus, we do have a Discord, which you can find the link below. And if you're enrolled in any of the classes on the Working Dragon Mystic School, there's actually a section of Discord there where you can talk about the classes and you can ask questions. And I am usually most days in the Discord. So you can always ask me a question through Discord. That's the easiest way to ask me questions about the classes. And I can help you through any problems or snafus you have. Though most people, I rarely actually get too many questions on the classes. They seem pretty self-explanatory in most cases. But we do, because sometimes they just want clarification. But they are pre-recorded. but we do have the Discord set up so that you can ask me questions and I can help you with any snags you run into. Well, I don't know where you're at in your practice, Camden. It's just so I have to look at it from a beginner level, and the other rulers start getting real intense real fast. That's the main reason I just recommend it. Are you spiritually vulnerable during meditation? I've never ran into any issues during meditation because I was in meditation that I wouldn't run into in my normal life. So by and large, I'll say no. Now, when you're traveling the planes or whatnot, if you run into an entity, an entity can harass you. I wouldn't necessarily say dangerous, but they can harass you a bit and possibly even annoy you. But if you're traveling the planes, you have enough knowledge to defend yourself even on the planes, which is helpful. But if you're worried about being vulnerable, do a ritual like the Dragon's Flame ritual and set that space up and meditate in it because it does the cleansing, the empowering, and the protection. So it actually sets that protective space up for you if you're worried about that. And it also makes meditation a little easier because it actually boosts that energy up a little bit. Will, man, thank you. I have been told I should charge more, but I am trying to make them affordable for everyone. And like I said, there will be a Dragon Magic 101 through 104, but I do want them to be affordable for anyone who's trying to get this information. So I'm trying to balance it out for everyone here. Will, to some extent, yeah, they are. I don't know if I'd say evolution, but well, I guess you could, yeah. But they are trying to help us be the best we can be and reach our full potential, which they constantly roll their eyes at how little we're doing to reach that potential. We tend to be tripping and fumbling quite a bit, but they are indeed trying to help us. And I actually think that's one of the reasons they're starting to put more info out and reach out to more people. I think they're trying to take a more direct move because we can't seem to not be doing so well on our own. Oh, Cloud, yeah, I can talk about them a little bit if y'all want. The Dark Elves / Dwarves, they are, at least as far as I can tell, from not only in the Norse, but as well as the other realms. They're viewed as some of the best craftsmen through the planes, period. So if you want to craft something, whether it be an object or even craft something in your life, these are entities that you can go to and work with. And they can help you understand how to do these kind of crafts and creations. They can be grumpy. They can be very, very grumpy. So you got to be careful. Some of them look very elvish. Others do look, well, ugly. But they do get offended easy. So if you run across them and they ugly, don't tell them that. Don't say they're ugly. Because they're not going to help you if you do that. But they are fascinating to work with and to learn from about creation and crafting. There's several different magic items that I don't know if I can talk about the item directly, but they've helped me in order to create and craft. And in fact, I went to them about how I would put together the book that the pathworking was going to be. And they're the ones that's like, it ain't going to be a book. We're going to craft something better. And they're the ones that took these path workings and decided, hey, here's how we're putting these together in an online fashion. We're taking it to the next level. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, they're great craftsmen, and they, like I said, they can craft things for reality in the spiritual realms, or even crafting an ideal and helping it manifest. Wait, do you mean I can find it? Uh, yeah, you can meet your guardian, you can meet your co-magician, and you can start working with the first four rulers pretty safely and easily. It's the rulers above those four where things get sketchy. But if you're working within just the guardian dragon, the co-magician, and the first four rulers, you're usually pretty solid and easygoing. And that's one of the reasons I started with the guardian and the co-magician. Though before you reach out to the rulers, make sure you have that guardian and that co-magician. They're going to help balance out any wonky energies when you approach the rulers. Their energy, it's intense, it's primal, but your guardian and your co-magician will help balance it out for you so it don't go too wonky on you. No, Meyer. Let's see. Tips for building relationships with an entity: respect, honesty. Um, Approach them with respect. Approach them with honesty. Don't try to lie to them. Don't try to trick them. Don't try to bind them. Don't try to force them. And get to know them. Don't just go up and ask them to do things for you. Actually, take the time to get to know them, because building that genuine relationship, the same way you would a real life friend, hands down will build that relationship with the entity far better, far quicker, and get you better results in the long run when you do need help, because they are a genuine friend at that point and they will actually want to help you. Peachy, well, thank you very much. I do try to think of everyone. I really do. My goal is to get information to all the seekers who are wanting to learn. So I'm doing my best to keep to my mission. No problem, Camden. And again, catch me in Discord sometime if you want, and I'll explain it better if you want. Oh, the crafters. That was the dark elves or the dwarves in Norse mythology. They are some of the best craftsmen that I've encountered, I'll be honest. And even other planes actually refer to their craftsmanship. So that's pretty cool. Yes, you should find your guardian and your co-magician before meeting the rulers. And that's mainly because it does help you to balance those out some and deal with the energy that's coming in, as well as the co-magician actually operates as your primary teacher, so they can advise you in how to do different things and everything. Have I worked with Abraxas at all? It's not a name I'm recognizing, so if I have, I don't remember it. Austin, you can use tarot and other divinations, though the dragons don't prefer it because they want an actual open line of dialogue, whether it be through meditation, trance, um, working in your sanctum, or even contact evocation style work. They actually want a real time communication if they can get it. because they are trying to push you to grow as a practitioner. But they do understand if that's your starting point. Thorn, in my experience, I would approach dragons a little differently. Serpents seem to be a bit more lenient in areas. Dragons, you really do have to approach them with respect and honesty, and you do need to build a solid relationship with them. That's the hardest part about working with dragons. No matter what the dragon is, they're going to want and expect you to take time to build a genuine relationship with them and to build that trust up. A lot of entities don't require that, but dragons really do require that. Oh, Elizabeth Silver, how high should your staff be? Some people will say it should be as high as your head is. They say that's your measure, but it should be comfortable. So if any of you have seen me standing by my staff, you'll notice my staff only comes to about my shoulder. And the reason for that is I'm 6'2". A 6'2" stick gets in the way of everything. So my staff, in order for it to actually be comfortable, I had to shorten it down so I could actually maneuver it. So the rule of thumb is it should be comfortable, but roughly somewhere within shoulder height is usually what I tell. But so above waist, but comfortable, and somewhere in the shoulder to no higher than your head if you really want to go for a long one. Now, if you're like Linda and you're not even 5 foot, you could go head higher a little extra and no one would notice. You'd still be able to pack it around in a suitcase. Well, yeah, the Egyptians didn't take well to it, so we didn't work together long. Let me think. Other than the Egyptians, honestly, other than the Egyptian pantheon, I've not really had an issue. Now, when I first met Tiamat, she was grumpy and she couldn't believe that I was approaching her as an equal. But she wasn't offended by it, and within a day or two, me and her were very easygoing. So yeah, the Egyptians are really the only ones I've ran into an issue with, a real issue. Yeah, a co-magician, it's a title that's given to a dragon that their primary purpose is to work with you and your guardian dragon in order to teach you. In dragon magic, they are the teacher who works with you the most. And all the other dragons you work with are kind of like, it's like your co-magician's your homeroom teacher, and the other ones are the classes you go to and then come back, and you're always working with that single co-magician teacher. Cloud, I do not know where Jesus got his training or exactly how he healed people. I apologize. Like I said, he's an entity I work with, but I never actually thought to ask that question to him. I probably should have. I mean, that's a good question to ask him. Welcome back, Jacob. Austin, no problem, man. You ain't asking stupid questions. You're asking good questions, reasonable questions. Y'all still making fun of the last stream, aren't you? I see how it is. Yeah, Austin. So if you go to the video list, you start off first. You learn the dragon's flame ritual, then find your guardian dragon and start building a relationship with your guardian dragon, and then move on to your co-magician. Uh, the Axum, I don't know. I see purple dragons all the time. I know plenty of purple guardian dragons. I didn't know they were viewed as rare. Um, that's a new one for me, my man. Um, I've seen a lot of purple dragons within the earth dragons. A lot in water dragons, actually. A lot of them in there. But I can't say I've ever seen them or heard of them as being called rare to work with. Yeah, the healing thing. That there is some research that me and Bernoldus have been debating, discussing, and goofing, and actually wanting to research on because there are a lot of neat questions on that, and actually, Jesus might be a good place to start that research, Bernoldus. The work I've done with Tiamat originally was done in uh, my Astral Sanctum, the Draconic Elemental Temple, and actually in the Draconic Realms themselves. I've not actually worked with her through evocation in any way yet, though I want to. And that might be stupid of me, but I do want to. But yeah, it was mostly through the Astral Sanctum and the Elemental Temple. And I usually do those workings like when I go to my Astral Sanctum, I like to do the Ritual of the Flame before I do it, just to have that energy there. I tend to start all my workings with that ritual. Yes, Austin, the opening your third eye thing, that's the free class over on the website. Look forward to hearing about it, Jacob. Oh, well, I mean, it worked for me, Bernoldus. It really did. I can neither encourage nor dissuade you, but it did work for me. Young Lion, no. Which that kind of threw me because when I worked with Tiamat, I was actually expecting her to actually be the Chaos Ruler. If you really want what my thoughts were, or even beyond that, but no. Turns out the Tiamat we know, she is the first dragon with her realm is Earth. I don't like I said. I think I've said this before. I don't know if it's Earth itself or the whole Milky Way, but that is her realm, and she was the first dragon within that realm. So within human perception, she is the first dragon within our perception. And she is the mother of many dragons because of that. But she is a chaos dragon, so she's not one of the 9 rulers, but she is still an extremely powerful chaos dragon. She's not to be taken lightly by any means necessary. Just because she doesn't fit on that first of all dragons when you're working with dragons, do not take her lightly by any means. Approach with caution. She is a very powerful chaos dragon. But she would be the first dragon within the human realm of influence. Does that make sense? You understand what I'm saying there? She's not the first of all dragons, but just within our realm. So that's why she is viewed as a goddess to humans, because that's what we know her as. And it took me a while to get that crap straight. And oh my God, I think she got annoyed trying to explain that to me. I looked like a monkey doing a math problem while she was trying to explain it. So you caught on quicker than I did. Congratulations. Yeah, I've heard that he was trained in Egypt and Essos, and I I just want to. I'd like to work with him more directly and get some more info from him directly. Okay, if I butcher this name, I apologize. Mafleta Sanchez. Welcome. I'm happy you found the channel. Found your channel today. Yes, it's perfectly fine to do it before you find your guardian dragon. In fact, I do recommend you run through it a few times to make sure you got it, because it can actually help you in finding your guardian dragon. So yeah, the ritual of the flames is an excellent ritual to do, even if you don't practice dragon magic. What age did I start practicing? Oh, if you ask my first mentor, she will tell you I started practicing when I was about 11. And that's because of my study of theology, my study of philosophy, and my study of mysticism and things like that, that just interested me. And I was usually plugging away at it and trying to figure out how it fit in science. But it wasn't really a magical practice in my mind. And that went on for many years. Now, when I dove directly into a magical practice, I want to say I was like 22-ish, right in there somewhere. But yeah, like I said, my teacher claims it was far earlier than what I feel it was, because according to them, all this other stuff I was researching just built onto it. Because like meditation was a daily thing for me ever since I was 13. I was always learning that kind of stuff. And that was largely due to martial arts at the time. I know I'm out of shape, but I got to get back in shape, people. But so by her definition, and well, she even trained me, she counts it further back than I do. But my true dive in focus and really get in dirty, nitty gritty with it was around 22. So either way, it was a long time ago. I've been banging my head away at this thing, getting it, trying to figure it out. Tiamat is all about change, Will. All about massive change, growth, and self mastery. And that is self mastery in the eye of absolute total chaos. So, most of the books that work with Tiamat, they usually come with warnings. In fact, the best book I found, like page 1, tells you this is not to be approached lightly or as a dabbling. Because to work with her and her energy patterns, they're going to come in, they're going to just take your life, and they're going to throw it in a blender. They're going to turn the blender on frappe while shaking it. Because that's the kind of chaotic change that she's going to put you through to A, build the life you're seeking, and B, to teach you how to master and control your life in that chaotic situation. So she can teach you a lot. I would say it can't even be put into words. The question is, can you survive it? That's the question. Mathilda, I'm happy to answer it. Thank you for joining us. Drop us a like if you can. I mean, I got 18 likes on this already, 23 people still in here watching me talk. It's been wonderful up in here tonight. Absolutely wonderful. And yeah, if you got any more questions, let us know. And if I mess your name up, I truly apologize. Again, people, I'm not good with names or pronunciations. I do the best I can. Yeah, Bernolis, how do you deal with change? That's true. That's why those higher rulers are such a pain. A lot of people, well, humans in general, we really don't do well with change. Any tips on religious deprogramming? Ask yourself who you are. Ask yourself what you believe. and ask yourself what you stand for and what you think. And every day, try to be a better person tomorrow than you are today and build upon that. Would be a great way to do it. One book I plan on reviewing just because I think it can help anyone with self mastery. It's not a metaphysical book so much, it's more of a psychology book, but it's called Modern Bushido by Bondi Sanders. And he walks you through different concepts of like honor, loyalty, friendship, all these little ideals. And he walks you through it not in a this is your character, this is your honor. Instead, he walks you through the concepts of what they are, and he asks you to think and meditate on what they are to you. And by answering these questions, you really get a great understanding of who you are. And by understanding you, you separate yourself from the larger religious programming, if that makes sense, Austin. I have not worked with Panzu, or at least by that name, because someone said Panzu is in the Goetia under a different name, but as far as under that direct name, no. Thank you, Mathilda. I'm glad you understand. I'll take no for 300, Bob. Oh, what's it matter, Peachy? Don't you like change? Yeah, Will, Tiamat's knowledge of our world is fascinating. Absolutely. She's grumpy. She doesn't yield information easily usually, but when you get her talking, she's pretty freaking fascinating. And I love to get her talking, and you learn a lot from her. She does like to beat around the bush and lead you in circles to try and get you to figure things out on your own, so that can be annoying. But no, when I was working with her, I enjoyed it. I won't lie, it was harsh. It was a rough working. It was rough. Not even gonna lie about that. Back then, I might even say I wasn't ready for it. But that's one reason I want to reach out and work with her again, so that I can reconnect with her and see how it compares now to then. Andrew, I don't know if there's any schools that deal with phoenixes, though this is a question I got recently in Discord. If you venture into the plane of fire, phoenixes are intelligent creatures that you can work with. And I did share a sigil with someone in Discord on how to contact a phoenix in order to begin learning from them and working with them. And that's both the light and the dark phoenixes. There's actually, they do have a balance on both sides there. As if whether there's a particular path or school, I've not encountered one. But every time I've worked with phoenixes, I have really enjoyed working with them. But again, they're not something I work with a lot. I actually had to dig into some of my really old notebooks to find that particular sigil for the young lady. Hey, Mathis, my man, good to see you. It's all right, man. You ain't been around. I hope you've been doing all right. I hope it's been good things keeping you busy. We all want blessings and not hardships, so I hope it's been good things keeping you busy. Origin of Insanity, welcome. Good to see you. Oh, dragons will help you with phoenixes. They will. In fact, Ingus Salor, the ruler of fire, great guy. He will probably help you. He'll introduce you to a phoenix, no problem. I just gave her the sigil because, to the best of my knowledge, she didn't work with dragons. Most of the dragons tend not to hiss. They actually talk better than me most of the time, which is kind of funny because I actually made a joke once about one of the dragons. He's made a comment on my English, and I was like, "What are you talking about? You speak better English than I do." They're actually very articulate entities. I know you wouldn't think they would be, but they really are. And if they're hissing and growling, it's not something that they have to do. It's something they're choosing to do, and they're usually just goofing around. I've never encountered a dragon that isn't extremely articulate. No problem, Andrew. Happy to help. Well, Mathis, I'm glad it's at least been 50-50, and I look forward to you getting them back on track. Definitely, hope to see you over on the Discord a bit more, man. We have missed you. Austin, honestly, I cannot recommend any books. That's one reason that it's, one of those things where people keep asking you, and eventually it's like, well, you're going to have to put out your own materials. Um, right now, the best works on the books, and most people aren't too fond of them anymore, is DJ Conway's works, which is where I got my start. And I'm thankful for them. I know a lot of people, that they give them some crap here and there, and I understand why they do, but I have to be thankful for them because if it wasn't for those books, I'd have never got to reach out to the dragons and meet them and learn about them the way I did. So that was really what opened the doors for me. But her books are currently what's out there. And there is some discussions that I might turn my classes into a form of a book format at some point. I'm in talks with someone who's better at writing than me and can help me organize my thoughts a bit better because I'm not good at it. So if that happens, those will be available. Well, yeah, Nagas and dragons get along well. They are not the same entities, but they do get along well. See, Mathis, my man, you've been missed. You show up here and it's just you get tackled with hugs and greetings. I don't know what you're gonna do, man. No, Austin, I've never found an entity or energy pattern that dragons refuse to work with yet. And that, I mean, I've worked with a lot of them. They really focus on balance. And in that focus on balance, they really do work with all those energy patterns because that's where you find that balance. You can't have light without dark. You can't have up without down, those kinds of things. So I've never really found anything that dragons are against. Which surprises me. After 20 years, you would think I might have found something, but so far I've found nothing. Have I met any of the gods? I have met. Oh, let's see. Kali, is that Hindu or is that Hindu? That's right. If I'm remembering my pantheons right, and if I'm not, people please correct me before I make a bigger dummy of myself. Um, Kali and crap. Um, oh my god, I cannot believe I'm forgetting her. Um, Ganesh, that's the one. Ganesh. Woo! Don't work a lot with them, Cloud. I really don't. I know a lot of people enjoy working with them and love working with them. Anytime I've worked with them, I've been working with someone who's interested or is working with them and they're having problems and they've come to me for help. That's the main reason I end up working with them. I've generally found them pretty pleasant entities to work with, but I'm not the expert. Again, pleasant people, but don't know them well. Austin, my man, I'm glad I can be of help. I'm glad you found the channel. I really do think the dragons and other entities do have a hand in steering people here. Andrew, they are not big on the dragon slaying stories. In fact, if you talk to the dragons, they'll tell you there was a point where dragons and fae and other entities walked Earth with us. And it's the fact that we started doing just that they actually shifted from the physical realms to the other realms. And that's one reason that they are so adamant about building that true trusting relationship, because we've given them every reason not to trust us. So you have to be respectful and earn that trust back. That's the whole reason that trust and that genuine relationship is so important with them. I found it pleasant. I really did. I found Ganesh very pleasant, pretty chill, in my opinion. Energetically, I'm trying to, because it was just such a calming energy around it. It's almost like just a relaxing day at the beach, or even in a spa. I mean, it was just that relaxing just to be working with him. It was a little crazy. I mean, I know it sounds goofy, and you're all probably laughing like, "Greg, it can't be that relaxing." But it's like, seriously, if you reach out to him, you'll see what I'm saying. It's really hard to articulate how relaxing the energy around Ganesh was. I've heard a lot of things about. I don't really know what TikTok is, really. I know it's an app. I know there's like short videos or something. A friend of mine keeps recording some weird stuff, and they send it to me. I think it's on TikTok. But they're funny little skits that she's doing. But I've heard a lot of interesting things about TikTok and witches on TikTok and people griping about it. But I don't really know a lot about it. I'm not on there, so I kind of reserve my opinion. Of the videos I've been sent, I want to think these are parodies or making jokes. I don't want to think they're serious, because if they're being serious, I see why people are a little grumpy about TikTok. But again, we all know I'm a caveman in the digital world. So when it comes to apps and digital media, you got to take my view with a grain of salt there. Mathis, my man, I don't know. It just seems to be something that is in us right now, because we are such infants as far as a race goes. That's something me and Mab was arguing. Well, not arguing about. She's basically laying down saying, "Look, y'all's this young. You're not even out of diapers yet." And I think that's really it. We're still in the little crybaby side of things. We're still in diapers, and we don't really know how to behave yet. We're still learning how to behave, man. And I hope that's the case, because hopefully we can survive long enough to mature and actually become something worth something. At least that's my hope. Because we're collective idiots. Very well said. Well, I'll remember not to give it 45 minutes then. I got enough work, man. I stay busy almost from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed. These streams are how I relax, even though they could be counted as work. Sitting back and chilling with you guys is some of the best relaxing times I got. Either that or when I'm outside running the smoker and grilling. I love doing that now. 44 minutes. Okay. So set the timer, go 44 minutes and bail. Just gotta go. Just jump out of the plane. I like that. All right, everybody. If you got any last minute questions, let me know, because we are going to get ready to wrap up. If Linda was here, she would be upset. I definitely went over the hour. But this has been a wonderful stream. Absolutely been a lot of fun. And I think it's been every bit worth it. And I like to think you all have too. So be thinking of your last minute questions. And I will talk about what we got possibly coming up. Milla Johnson, just want to say hello. I'm new here, found you recently. Thank you for Milla, thank you for joining us. Thank you. Glad you actually did say hello. I'm glad you're enjoying the channel, and you are very welcome. I'm working very hard to get this information out to all who's looking for it. So thank you for, well, your kind words, really. Thank you. You're welcome, Andrew. Thank you for joining us today. Young Dragon, you could craft a selenite wand for your dragon tool. You could. I would be hesitant because selenite is so breakable. And with all the energy that's going to go into creating this tool in the long run, I'd be terrified it'd break and you'd have to start all over. But you could do it. See you, Thorn. Thank you for joining us. It's been great having you. Y'all been great. Yes, you all will be seeing me in TikTok. Or, yeah, look what you done went and done. Yeah, oh, my God. I'm already getting addicted to it. See, in Discord. I'll be seeing you on Discord. Maflinda, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you learned a lot today. I appreciate it. Thank you for the kind words. No, Meyer, always happy to answer questions, man. Thank you for joining us. Dragon Magic 102, Mathis. It's actually looking good. We've hit a few bumps and whatnot. I have no promised release dates, as you all know. I do still have my personal goal for October, though depending on some bumps in the road, it might be New Year's. But I am shooting for October-ish. That's my personal goal. Whether we'll meet it, I don't know. But like I said, I'm not promising any release dates. But for those of you in Dragon Magic 101, there's lots of material, including crafting your tool, the final ritual at the end that will keep you very busy. But it is coming along really well. Camden, take it easy. Elizabeth, see ya. This week we do have a rune magic video coming up. I think it's an introduction to runic magic. It's just kind of a brief overview to get involved because we're doing more deep dives on it later. And it was too big a topic to just do a whole video on. But we do have a runic magic video coming up. We are working on the Dragon Magic 102. So I hope you all support that video. Check it out. Definitely be sure to leave likes. Also, when this goes live and for the replay, if you remember, drop some comments, say hi. Really helps out the channel. We appreciate it. Young Lion, have a good night, man. Take it easy. Origin is Sanity. Drake on tonight. No. I don't need to get on there. Don't you? We don't want Drake getting on TikTok and getting addicted to that stuff. No, we do not. No, Drake's not on TikTok, Camden. No, he's not. And he's going to try not to get to it. I mean, I'm considering deleting my Twitter account. Mathis, my man, it's good to see you. I'm glad you got a few minutes in here, too. I hope to see more of you, even if it's in Discord. Pop in, let us know you're doing all right. I worry about you. Good night, Austin. All right, everyone, I am going to sign out and get me some more coffee and probably pop into Discord, say hi to y'all. Y'all have a wonderful evening. Thank you for joining me tonight. Great questions, as always. It's been a blast. And until, well, I guess it'll be Friday. I'll see you at the next live stream. Y'all take it easy. And please don't do a spell to influence me on TikTok. That's just mean, people. Don't do that. Don't do that. No. All right, take it easy. No TikToking me.